Okay, why would you ratio L? And welcome to Day of the Damned. Bright, you're running a war
In
campaign.
the words of Kanye West.
In the words of Kanye West, welcome everyone to Day of the Damned.
Yeah,
I may be paraphrasing a little, but look, I may be paraphrasing Kanye West a little when I say welcome to Day of the Damned.
Oh, and you didn't specify a certain banking class that you're welcoming to donations. Obviously not Kanye.
I said I'm paraphrasing.
Well.
No need for that. Anyway, where were we last time? You
invading.
decided to advance your blitzkrieg, finding nothing of value in the keep.
We've had a very quick assault, and if we keep up this momentum, they won't have time to prepare defenses.
Yeah.
Not proper ones, anyway.
So
on to the next one.
Yeah, on our next turn, we prepare the march to Mardavolosi.
It's the pink on pink, Bright. You fucked up with this.
No, that
I did not. I can read it.
That name is just silly. That's
I can't read it.
Mardavolosi?
Yes. It's a very Italian
That makes
name.
it easier.
Does it?
Not having it be pink on fucking pink. Yeah.
Invaders.
Listen, you lot being colorblind is not my fucking problem.
I'm not fucking colorblind. It's the exact same fucking color. I'm
Here.
sorry that you're a retard.
Yeah, no, it isn't. I can read it perfectly fine. Yes. Yeah, anyways. Move, roll, do your thing.
Alright. Moving the army.
Yep.
This is
let me turn on snapping. There we go.
No.
I mean, there's no real reason not to. There's no real reason not to, I suppose, but it just looks weird if you do that.
But it's not.
You can tell it by the
I suppose it is.
Yeah. Do I need to do a luck roll every time I move?
Yes. Yes, you do.
It's only modified by the followers in your camp when the DM tells you.
Let me see what happens today. Just gotta roll something real quick. That is not what I wanted to roll.
We've lost 42 of our combat power immediately.
No, you haven't. As far as you're aware, nothing goes wrong.
As far as we're aware, so in other words, we're about to lose the next battle.
So hold on, I swear I gave you a flag with numbers on it.
No.
I'm pretty sure you didn't. Did you save that?
Yeah, I gave you
we
a
had
flag.
One, but
yeah,
I don't see it.
Here, your flag.
I have just grabbed a bunch of these tokens.
I mean, you're welcome to. That's why the bag's on the table. But fucking give me that fucking flag. Stop stealing it.
Okay. So it's the next day and another roll.
Yes, you arrive. Let's see. You're slower than expected. But, you do manage to make your way to, the next, or at least within scouting distance of the next, fortress.
Can you stop planting those? Yes, we make our way to the next fortress.
Blocks.
You make your way to the next fortress, and you find that the fortress is already on lockdown. They appear to have been expecting you.
Ah, General Grievous.
All right.
That's fun, which inundator skin.
We'll demand them to surrender, of course. But we'll set up the siege weaponry all the same.
Mm-hmm. Because we're still going very fast, I will dedicate Anne Bertie to this.
So Birdie's going off to what? Set up the bomb.
I'm waiting for their response and surrender.
Let's see. They would
roll the compel surrender, or we just expect them to say
a
no?
messenger. A messenger would be sent out, offering a letter not from this city, but from the council itself. Apparently, they are willing to allow you to keep your current territory on the what's the term? Condition that you turn back immediately.
No.
It's also phrased as your last chance of surrendering as well. So
I'm setting off for Birdie.
All right, George. You're doing this yourself.
Relays this. George walks out of the tent, grabs a pair of fuckheads to help him, lugs the bomb out in front of the gates, and primes it.
All right, you find a decent-looking spot to prime the bomb. It's near an old farmhouse.
I'm not getting rid of those lines.
That's fine. You said you brought a pair of people to help you?
Yep.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find a suitable group.
More just people to keep a lookout while I said it.
One moment. I have the thing. I just need. Where the hell did I put it? Sorry.
George is more than capable of not dying to pretty much anything anyone can throw at him.
I would also recommend that Aethif go with him. Who's capable of killing anything that would possibly be stupid enough to go after George.
Oh.
Here you
Clank, 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 clank. Good day today. Clank, 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 clank.
Two members of the
good day, good day, good day.
Clank, clank, clank. Get penetrated, get penetrated, get penetrated.
You would have to set the bomb up near the back of the farmhouse, somewhere around here-ish. Yeah.
Is Aethif coming along?
Yes.
Is Aethif coming along? All right, Aethif, come along. The farmhouse is well, the fields have been harvested, and the hay bales piled up. It hasn't been burned or salted yet, which is possibly a sign that you've arrived earlier than they expected.
I would recommend poking some hay bales. Not that Sabina's there.
Mm-hmm. Sabina is in fact not there.
Aethif, would you look into that barn there?
Okay. Well, it doesn't seem to have windows.
Oh, speaking of, I need to.
In fact, yeah, it's just a brick. Why would they construct a brick the size of a barn?
Puffin, blow your brick down.
I want it to be noted that these things have fail safes on them, so they can't just fucking detonate.
It's basically like a Monopoly house or hotel.
Yeah.
You're gonna keep
fair.
critiquing
Monopoly
the
was the
quality of the.
foundational
What?
Are you gonna keep critiquing the quality of the barn, or are you actually gonna go check inside?
Well, what way can I check it's inside from? Considering
He
it is.
he wants to know which ingresses exist
The
on it.
right, the shorter side
Just draw
here
on-
has
you can draw
a
on the
large
face of
barn.
them.
Yeah, a large. Not really. For some reason, they're kind of fucked.
Good
Anyways.
enough. I get that there's an opening there. Okay, what's
There,
inside?
there's a door. There's a door there, and on the other side, not that you could see it from here, is another door.
Okay,
Iron
so
walls never
what's
seem
inside?
to work.
Give me a perception check.
Six.
Mm, you don't see much of note inside. It's a barn. Athef has been in his fair share of barns back when he was still alive, I suppose.
He was born in one.
He was raised in one. He's molded.
I mean,
Pretty sure he
chances are,
wasn't.
son of a farmer.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the farmer had a house.
It actually depends on the type of farmer that. Well, whether he was hired.
Anyway, this is cursed. I'm not. Anyway, Athef doesn't see much of value inside. Doesn't see much of note either.
Okay.
That's still scuffed.
I did my best.
Yep. Well, we're just slow marching through if you want to meet up or go check out the other one ahead of us.
They march onward.
Just slow marching in case something happens.
I would ask at this point, how many soldiers in number are at the army's disposal?
I believe I had written down before the combat you started off with some 500. You would have about 450 left now after all of your fighting.
And I brought 2.
I imagine they're rallying to charge the second the wall falls, because otherwise it wouldn't make much sense to let the enemy recover.
Sure.
Alright. We're at the plant site.
That you are, George or Athef, whichever
George
you
has
want.
one hand on the Bertie.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Sure.
I'm too
All right.
on the
Am
bottom.
I still able to roll, or because I was about to?
Yeah, sure, Athef, you get the roll. And let me just see. I'm going to do this. All right, so Athef can see that they're planning an ambush. There are people inside these hay bales.
Aha.
I give the hand signal if there's people inside the hay bales.
Again, I'm still focused on the bomb, but
Yeah,
the
you
wolf
have
number 1.
Which hay bales?
the ones closest to these 3, as far as you can see.
It'd be a shame if someone just set those hay bales on fire.
Hey, it'd be a shame if I suddenly impaled
Shit.
the guy in this.
Hold on. Just summon them since they're meant to be here.
Compact braid chip. Why are they tiny? Children.
They're compact.
Oh,
Yes.
They're compact. All right.
Compact Rangers.
no. Why
Yes.
are we only fighting
5'2".
halflings? No, actually,
Earth Deck Rangers.
5'9".
Uh,
Dwarves.
Aethif doesn't get surprised, so he gets to react to it when one of them blows a whistle.
Well, I was
George
going to murder
failed
him
his
when
perception.
As soon as I spotted him, I was going to immediately try to murder the shit out of him.
All right, roll a murder check.
Murder, psychotic,
However you-
assassinate, stabbing,
However you intend to murder a man.
assassination. I think that's plus 3.
Got it.
Anyway, there you go.
Holy shit.
Well, that guy's dead.
Is it plus 4? I can't remember now. Anyway.
That man is very dead.
And at which point I say, watch out.
Watch out, it's a ambush.
Unfortunately for you, George wasn't paying attention, at least according to his perception check.
Nope, but he is currently handling the bomb with the gauntlets of sure grip.
His grip is as sure as...
He literally, they cannot steal the bomb.
I would be surprised if they managed to run away with the bomb.
I would be as well, but I wouldn't put it past the fuckers. Try.
One moment.
I'm trying to glitch my camera inside the fucking barn and so it's just breaking the whole table for me. I guess I don't get a look inside.
After the Rangers, it's just a solid square inside.
Yeah.
After the Rangers blow their whistles, let's see, everyone except Aethif is surprised. Right. Aethif, you see something strange around the rest of that group. You can definitely tell it's a sort of magic. It's a dome of sorts. And you can tell that despite your shouted... you can tell that... And that's a bit large, but... May as well keep it.
They silenced them.
You can tell that despite your shouted directions... you can tell that despite your shouted directions, no one inside is moving.
What? Huh?
So what, time dilation?
Saying we've been fucking stasis.
And, well, this ranger blew the whistle, this one got stunned by the stasis, and,
It was really stupid of him to just put his hay bale in the stasis center, but fuck it now.
yeah, it is. Alright. Back to Aethif again.
Oh, as in it's my turn again.
Yes. I'm not going to roll initiative for this because it would take a bunch of time that isn't really necessary.
Okay, well, time to run up and stab 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 and stab.
Alright, you run up and stab and stab and stab.
Yeah, not backstab.
No. Is he still
Just a
alive
regular
after
stab?
that?
I think if it's just a regular stab, then yes.
Okay, then
Though
I use my
pretty
second
heavily
attack.
wounded. I'm just doing.
Does this one kill him?
Yeah, that one would definitely kill him.
Man, so everyone outside the stasis is just dead. Except for Aethif, who's undead.
I mean, bold of you to assume that there's not people inside the barn that you didn't check. Speaking of, considering the stasis, the rest of them don't get to act, but
Does it overpower my magic resist?
yes, it does. because it's a major arcana.
Ah.
So Brett, I have a question.
Yes.
How long would be too long for Sabina just send like a bird to scout the area? And I mean, not by a woman. I mean like a harpy. Which could
There's
be a
nothing to
woman.
say you wouldn't have one in case they tried to launch like a cavalry raid or something.
There's no real indication that anything is going down here.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
You're
I
busy
just-
watching. You're busy watching the walls for them to collapse.
Sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of, out of the
Right.
hold on. Where are your gloves of sure grip? Because I don't see them.
I
don't
don't
think you
have
made
them
up
as a
them.
token.
Yeah, I just need the wording on
Got
them.
them in my inventory. This is why I was very particular with the word. Because I knew you'd try and do something like this. So some like
What? I don't even
always
see them.
maintain grip. There you go. That we actually did have the full thing written out, but I don't know where that's gone.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea. Anyways, regardless of that,
The tooltip, not the actual description or effect, is always maintain grip. But the express intent of their
Found it.
construction was to never be able to let go unless
Mechanics autism.
oh, let's see.
ensure that the wearer never loses grip upon an item, surface, or creature unless desired. I don't desire to.
You cannot grip
Well,
without consent.
No,
I
I cannot
suppose,
release my grip without consent.
Aethif, you watch as a cavalryman charges out from the barn on a horse, as you would expect.
Hmm.
Rides up to the bomb. Attempts to pull your gloves off at first.
Doesn't work.
Seeing as he can't, he just kicks your entire arm off.
Doesn't
That-
work.
Well, that wouldn't work.
Why wouldn't it work? I'm pretty sure it would.
No, it really
adamantine.
wouldn't. Hang on, Bright. What's his damage on his kick?
His damage is currently irrelevant because you're stuck in time.
Oh no!
What are his
damage
kicks?
on his kick?
Let's see. Fine.
Give me a
fine.
number, motherfucker.
I will give you a number.
Give me a number.
Let me just see.
Number greater than 8 or fuck off.
And if this motherfucker has an 8 on his kick, why is he a cavalryman and not a kickboxer?
Right, with the charge, that is definitely greater than 8.
So he kicks one of my arms off.
You were specifically holding one arm onto the bomb.
No.
Yes, don't lie. No, you specified you kept an arm on the bomb at all times.
Hang on, let me just roll something. This would be... Damn, bro, that's crazy.
Damn, bro. You're unable to currently act, I'm afraid.
If they...
Okay, so he
I'm
moved.
killing.
He
Speak.
used his
He
main action.
yeah.
Hit
He had
his
to.
arm.
He had,
Performed what? How many wounds?
he has to take his turn to pick the bomb up. So,
Yeah, how many wounds do I take from that? Come on.
let's see. I believe you'd have. Let's do the math here.
So
That's
8
5
DR.
hits for. 2.
with the armor, and I'm wearing the armor. He
Yeah,
doesn't
that
have
would.
hammering.
Why wouldn't he?
It's a kick. Unless all natural
hammering's
attacks
not,
have
hammering's
hammering.
not hammering's not specific to natural attack. Any type of attack. It's just hammering.
Yes. Mind you,
it's the knowledge that you attack the
seeing
same
from-
place to avoid.
No,
seeing from
hammering
the,
devastating.
you would have taken with the charge. You would have taken a grand total of 12 damage from this, minus the armor, of course.
So that's what.
So it's less. So it's less that he grabbed the entire. Yeah. So it's less that he grabbed the entire arm and just the hand with the glove.
I am executing every member of that fucking garrison. I'm going to line them up.
Speaking of,
I'm
Aether,
going
your
to
turn.
behead-
You saw that this man isn't affected by the bubble.
Does he just go in there? Correct.
I think Kodak might be AFK, or maybe
What's up?
just thinking very hard about what to do now.
No, he just woke up.
I mean, if you want to be
it's your
asleep, we
turn.
could just, yeah.
It's your turn. This
Yeah,
knight
so
rolled
anyway-
in, kicked
Yeah, he
George's
kicked.
arm.
Yeah, he kicked him and kicked his arm off, and apparently George couldn't do anything about that, right?
Yeah, because
Yep.
he's
Because I'm still stasis.
All right. Well, I'll go.
You
for
can see that the stasis bubble is still there.
this guy. This guy.
The guy's also in stasis, so he hadn't acted.
Okay. Well, I'll murder them anyway.
Do you try to enter the stasis yourself?
No, I'm standing outside the circle.
All right.
That's why I'm going for him instead. That's why I'm going for him instead of the knight.
So you're trying to stab him through the circle, essentially.
Yes, I swing my sword from outside the circle.
Right, thrusting daggers aren't like a fucking kitchen knife. They actually have some length
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah, I know. I'm
well,
just
thrusting swords.
thinking exactly
But
how this would
thrusting swords
resolve.
even more then.
Sure, roll it.
Cool. Is he still alive?
You jab your dagger into him, but much like everything else in that field, he's stuck in. Yeah, it's a thrusting weapon. In any case, as much like everything else in that stasis field, he's unaffected. You can tell that you've done damage. It's just that he hasn't quite reacted yet.
Okay, well, I'll do my second stab to make sure he's actually dead when he gets unstasised.
All right. You stab the
Also,
man
this
twice.
cavalryman is the first person to damage George in a fucking while.
You're pretty sure this guy's dead, and it would be fucking obscene if he survived that.
Ooh.
Considering he can't react.
And let's see.
Does it wear off?
Now, was the cavalryman
George,
the
no,
only,
hold on. No, hold on. I'm doing some math here. George, you see the wolves around you still stuck in time. The cavalryman now has your bomb on his back, and because of what Aethif did, specifically because he has Spellbreaker, you have just enough leeway to move.
Alright, well, with my massive bonus to athletics, I'm going to leap, and with the other gauntlet, I'm going to grab the bomb that still has my hand connected to it and yank it away from him.
Alright, I think that'd be closer to an attack than athletics.
6. But is he expecting it?
The fuck was
Why
that?
did that? Why
What
did?
the
Why
fuck
did that?
did you just roll?
Why did that roll? Hold on, that should be one.
Roll that
roll.
again, please.
Motherfucker.
All right, you try to grab onto the bomb again, But before you do, you find the Knight's Lance not exactly stabbing you so much as prying you off of the thing.
Poking him uncomfortably.
Just holding you.
Because he doesn't have the charge bonus anymore.
Right.
He's more holding you at a distance than anything.
George is going to very simply say to him, I'm going to behead every citizen in that city unless that bomb is dropped right now.
I have seen what you've done in the other city. You would have done so regardless.
The other city
I
where
call-
everyone got out alive.
What?
I call
What?
bullshit on that.
I don't remember us massacring everyone in the city.
The man's lying.
No, only the army. But the man looks at his current situation, sighs about the fact that he's going to have to lose his. All right, terrifying aura, sure. He sighs about the fact that he's going to lose his favorite lance, and says, "I'll trade you." He shoves the lance at you and just runs off with the bomb.
What's his movement?
The horse's movement is 12 squares a turn if he doesn't double move.
Okay.
Hmm.
I've got 8. It's not great.
That is one fast fucking horse.
Yeah. So for at least one turn, I chase him.
Actually, does he need an acrobatics check to leap the fence?
He would if he hadn't prepared for this situation.
By breaking down the fence?
The fence is less standing upright and more angled forward to allow the horse to run off it.
You can just run over it, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so George, when he gets a chance to move, will take off at a gallop. Not quite as fast. But,
Can you swing Glowrender just to cripple that fucking horse?
He can certainly try.
I'm not throwing. I'm making a cleave attack with it against the horse's
Well,
legs.
yes, but
all four.
you can certainly try.
That's an 11.
And when is that Aethif's turn? Not that Aethif has
What the
Ooh.
fuck is with that rolls?
You try to Glowrender, but the rider urges his horse to jump the fucking beam.
Alright, well, don't worry. I have a fucking second attack. Let's see here. What have I got? Dun, 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 dun. It's here somewhere.
I think you can try chucking the axe if that's what you want.
He was just.
That's your other range attack.
He was checking his pants for a large object, and
Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to throw the fucking Odachi like a spear. It's obviously the one that's been broken in half. He can use it one-handed.
I'm gonna warn you that that's not exactly a viable thing for you to do, because the weapon doesn't have throwing, and also is not intended to be used that way.
And not the great axe.
It's more of a.
Alright, throwing axe.
I don't even
My
really
rolls are
need.
atrocious.
Actually, I do need to roll this because.
My rolls are actually just atrocious.
Yeah.
Well, the throwing axe returns to me, and I can follow him for, I guess, one more turn. Then I'll be
You
out of
see him.
range.
You see him gallop off, but instead of going to the city itself, he rides past it. Bomb on his back.
Yeah,
wait,
George is
hold on
still
a second. Hold on a second. How much time has like? I mean, how many turns have passed? Like,
You-
I thought
you-
there
you
was
would-
a turn went by.
Eighth, if you would have had a turn, and I suppose you could technically take a short arrow shot, but he would have been out of your range for anything else.
Oh, that's not overly relevant because I was waiting till I got a turn to talk to George. At which point I
right.
would have said, at which point I would have said, pretend to give up, and I would have used my cloak to make the guy forget I exist. attempt to negotiate with him. Is what I tell
Um,
George.
I think George is a bit too unhappy for that.
And I think the man is a bit too eager to get this piece of experimental technology out of your hands and into the hands of their
Is
engineers.
he heading towards the capital?
Yeah.
He's riding
Don't know.
past the city. You're not exactly sure where.
I know.
Alright.
No. I know the direction.
I guess we won't make an
Well,
attempt at
past-
unnamed trickery.
Damn.
Which
So,
direction is he heading?
The one time for you to use pillage.
Well, apparently my teammate is
So-
too emotional to attempt it.
I don't think the guy will actually stop though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you, there's no reason for the guy to stop. You do not have anything that entices him more than bringing that piece of technology back to.
He was allowed the bullshit setup of where he can stop time.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm just going to assume you find and execute the wizards that were in that barn
Yeah.
for their insolence. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. What George is doing, he's that pissed off. He's beheading them, and then he's putting those heads on a spike each, and displaying it for the city.
Slowly torturing.
Now you can tell that he went off this direction.
That's
But
fine,
he would
I'm
run
all
up- he would
for
run
using
up-
the capital now.
Yeah, he would run off that direction, like whether or not he's going to the capital, because he's not going to go back towards your army to try and pass through here.
Okay, so
Well, either way, I'm all for heading straight for the
if
capital.
I
now.
can get a message back to us, I'm sending the word to Slaya to attack Kanta.
Hold on. For the wizards, would George be mad enough to keep them alive?
No, he's
Interesting.
too pissed.
It,
Unless Aether stops him, George is too pissed
No.
to keep them alive.
But you can be much crueler to them if you keep them alive.
look, this
George
was
isn't-
just
George isn't
this was
obsessed with
just
cruelty.
this was just Bright's plan to allow the birdie bombs to not be effective after.
Unless you've
forks.
like
It is
mentioned.
literally it, yeah.
I mean, unless you've like mentioned that you happen to want wizards or alive or something.
there is actually nothing we could do to counter this.
There is definitely
Nothing
something you
the
could have done to
setup.
counter this. If you had brought more people, they wouldn't have gotten everyone into stasis. They didn't get Aether into stasis. If Aether had attacked the stasis bubble itself, he has Spellbreaker, he could have broken it. He did enough to allow you to try and roll once against it.
Also, I'm missing a fucking hand.
That doesn't make any sense.
That is true.
Yeah,
Unless it falls off along the way.
the fact that the fact that that guy can
the
the fact that that guy can disarm George is enough of bullshit there. But anyway,
Yeah. Also, right.
Hey, I rolled that.
Hang on, wait,
Literally
hang-
stabbed into it. I'm not sure how that doesn't count as stabbing it.
You have spellbreakers, like you only
you
actually break the shield. You just
The
didn't
spell.
do it.
you broke it enough for George's magic resistance to let him move.
so is this guy
Also-
completely invisible to the scouts? Invisible and too
It's-
fast
yeah,
for
apparently.
seen by
you-
scouts.
You don't have scouts in that direction.
Okay,
scouts
so
are around your
so we
scouts
we
are
dis-
around your
So we
Scouts
just
around your army,
decided
I assume.
that when we,
Alright.
I mean, we were here, but when we
What, you were there?
attacked the
I
sub,
thought
yeah,
I-
we were there, yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah,
could
we were
have.
there.
I swear you moved to here.
No, I
No.
set it right before that
Okay.
fucking gate.
Okay. In that case, your scouts would see where he's going because scouts are around your army.
Where'd you go?
One set of hexes. He's going across the bridge, which
Right,
is still intact.
What George is doing is he's the instant that he missed those attacks, he was going to will his hand to let go, and he's going to run up and pick up his hand, put it back on.
Not gonna try and track your hand.
I know where he's going. There are no civilians now.
Fair.
That's simple. Like that, George is pissed.
You,
They've
you
stolen his
drop your-
toy.
You drop your
Yep.
hand. The glove.
Yep.
The hand obeys, as does the glove.
Yeah. You should have tried to set off the bomb with your hand.
That wouldn't have been possible.
Real shame.
It's got fail safes on it specifically to stop people from accidentally setting it off. Granted,
Alright, so I
Would have been
suppose
very
at
intentional.
some
around
point.
with it, it'll just go off anyway.
So I suppose at some
any
point,
case, you
George
get-
will come back, tell us about this.
Yeah. As soon as George
He-
retrieved his hand, he's rushing back.
Yeah.
To camp.
You get news that there was an ambush set up, and that George doesn't want anyone to survive in that city.
An ambush of people that could manipulate fucking time, and a knight that's immune to that time manipulation, and a whole bunch of other confluent factors.
Yep.
Also,
That's what happens when you put a gaggle of wizards in a building.
a horse that is faster than fucking Sleipnir, essentially.
Literally the fastest thing we have ever fucking encountered.
Yeah, because
Dickhead on a horse.
we have nothing that can catch up or overtake him.
Well, you could call in a favor. You do have Saleya, and
At this point, George is going to.
if I will allow you to use Saleya's wrath to catch this one guy if you really want to.
Oh, George is going up to Sabina and saying, "I want to use the snow globe on the capital."
I'll do you one better. How about one Saleya?
Whatever kills them all.
On the capital?
Oh, it's not guaranteed that he's going to the capital. I'm pretty certain their best and brightest minds are in the capital.
I do have relatives there, but not anymore. What a shame.
What do you think, team? Should we instantly apocalypse bomb the
What?
capital?
Yeah.
Because
stuff we
What
want
is
to know.
it?
Hmm.
What's the standard move speed again? Is it 5 squares?
Standard is 6. I've got a
Standard
bonus
is
because
6.
my extra legs.
for a four-legged creature, the standard's 8.
Yes. So that's no regular horse. That is some fucking eldritch deity on 4 legs.
12 is not Eldritch Deity speed. 12 is genetically
Sorry,
engineered
sorry. No,
warhorse speed.
You're right.
That-
12 is faster than eldritch deity speed.
Yeah, Eldritch deities don't move that fast.
I mean, Bright, you can just say, yeah, I really wanted to counter it, or at least have the chance to counter it.
Anyhow, that being the
That's all
case,
bullshit.
Sabina's obviously sending double the men and saying, set up another fucking bomb. We're not lifting the siege.
No, triple the men.
Have it your
George
way.
doesn't go anywhere. The bombs don't go anywhere now without at least 10 guards and George himself.
The
I
bombs
guess-
just grew 10 kilo or 10. What's the measurement again?
10
kilotons larger.
kilograms
Yeah,
larger.
no, 10 kilotons.
10
But yeah,
kilograms heavier. Yeah.
George will send message back to his workshop saying, increase the yield threefold.
Increase the yield, increase the weight, add anti-theft measures, add
They-
anti-tampering
anti-theft.
measures.
Yes. Well, no, there already would be anti-tampering. There would be anti-tampering. There wouldn't be. There's obviously no anti-theft.
Okay, so-
there's no it can be set off by
So you're-
rattling it. But
So,
if they go around
before-
in it and they fuck
But
up,
before I call in the favor of Saleya, can we send a scout detachment of harpies to just track his destination?
yeah, nuke the city he shows up in.
Because I don't
He
suppose
would-
we need all the scouts at once with us.
Not in a siege. No.
The thing is, you have enough scouts to cover the area around your army to avoid getting to avoid what happened to the enemy army at the bridge happening to you. I will let you detach scouts to do that, but pick a hex that you aren't scouting, I guess.
Let a small nuclear warhead just roam free, or we're all safe in 6 core.
The northwestern hex will be unscouted while they're tracking that guy, but it's not going to be permanent.
I have another
Alright.
proposition. If it's been not very much time, would I be able to use an Empress fueled by, I don't know, whatever the best thing?
Probably not in
I think
range.
8 of 1 is good enough. To boost my speed to catch up to him in bat form and get a little bit ahead of him so that I can ambush him.
I don't
think you need the Empress
I don't
for
think-
that.
Yeah, it would just be a regular buff, but I think you wouldn't be fast enough by the time the word got back to you. Because you weren't. If you were there with Birdie, I would just let you do it, but you weren't.
Also, May can go as the crow flies, whereas he has to go around several things.
That's true.
Yes, you.
Roll for it, maybe?
But the harpies and May can bypass the river without much issue, whereas he has to go over the bridge.
So I guess roll for it, maybe?
Yeah, so the command would be May would take a detachment of scouts, see if he's heading in the direction of the capital, or if he's heading to the city, or if he's heading to any of these 3 cities, the capital, Kanta, or this one. I just need to target this one and slay it too.
May is taking a squad of harpies, boosting herself and them with magic to attempt to catch up with him as quickly as possible.
All right.
You wouldn't need the Empress.
If that is a better way to boost it, I don't see why.
What about the rest of you? You continuing the siege while?
Yep.
Well, we're going to use another one of the bombs.
Can I not better catch up with him if I use the Empress to do so?
Correct.
I will personally fill in the role of the missing scout.
Honestly, Aethys could probably almost entirely fill that gap on his own.
Aethys. All right, sure. You do have the skills for it.
He doesn't need to sleep, eat, or rest.
Yeah, he's better at scouting than even your current set of scouts.
Yeah. So Aethys fills that role.
If I use the Major Arcana,
Scoutmaster.
will I not be better at catching myself and
You don't need
whatever?
to use the Empress.
Yes, but will it be faster if I do?
I don't exactly know what you would do, especially with the Empress, that you wouldn't just do with a regular buff.
Nurturing / abundance of speed, I guess. Abundance.
I
don't know.
It's a stretch.
My argument would be it would be a faster form of bat. But
there is also the option of when you locate the bomb and the dude carrying it, you nurture the charge within so it detonates.
God, I wish you could just bring Aethys along so you can just pillage.
Unfortunately, Aethys can't fly.
Yeah, if Aethys could fly, that encounter would have been over so quick because you just got to get Aethys in the touch range, and suddenly the knight's there naked without horse, armor, spear, or bomb.
Does Aethys have a slot for another magic item?
You know, I was actually just trying to remember what the hell did I get from that from the absolute. Because I remember all the things I didn't get, but mirror.
Which you didn't use.
What's that do again?
Dictate someone's action.
Yeah, you could. I suppose you could have told them to come back.
Okay.
Damn.
What?
This is why people need to know what's in their character sheet.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not even in Aethys' character sheet.
You know, that really
I'm not sure why
was
you didn't put it there.
that you guys couldn't have won.
It's not like you had most of the tools.
Bullshit and bright.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened, and we're gonna.
It wasn't
We're gonna use a nuke
Yeah,
on
was-
the city that the knight's going to. That.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're
I'm trying to
using
catch-
a different
I'm trying
bomb on the city.
I'm trying to
Yes,
catch
let's
up
resolve
with item
scout first.
him before he gets
The scouting will take
The scouting will take
days
days.
because
The siege will take less
yeah.
on that.
Alright, well, yeah. much less
provided
than
provided you're cracking the city open with one of the bombs or snow globes, or what are you up to?
We're cracking
that.
the
We'll
city.
use another 30.
All right, one birdie subtracted. All right. This time they don't bother ambushing you again.
Okay, how can they send out more ambushers?
I said they don't
city's
bother.
besieged.
Yeah.
Anyway,
This was
They
a
won't have a
response to
chance.
you This was a response to you having a super weapon.
Yeah, this was the DM not having fun because everyone else is.
I still want to know how they scouted out our entire force with all of their garrison being destroyed, all their army being destroyed, and having nothing.
If you want to know, the way that happened is that you rolled a 2 and I rolled a 7 on my table, which means a spy leaked your orders. That's how it happened.
Great.
All right. You didn't know about it because you wouldn't fucking know about a spy leaking your orders.
Yeah.
However, you
Aether
do
comes
now
to the
have
rest of the party and says, "I believe a spy has been leaking our orders."
At the mere mention of the spy, George will go off and start interrogating people, terrorizing.
Well, no, there's no
infiltrating.
fucking mention of a spy. Anyway, what do I need to roll to besiege the damn city, knowing that we're doing the birdie plan again?
Also, we will choose a different breach point.
You think
Uh,
Aether
That's-
isn't underhanded enough to take something the DM said and use it?
Ugh.
Aether can't steal the DM's words, I'm afraid.
Are you sure?
Can you target?
He has not yet reached the level of reality warping bullshit that would let him do that, I'm afraid.
I use the mirror on you.
And what would you have me do?
I'd have you let Aether know about the spy.
I rolled the willpower and I succeeded.
Damn, bro, that's crazy.
Well, that's why I forgot about that, because he was gay and I didn't like it.
Damn. Anyway, God, I should have hero died that 2 roll.
Roll a d10 plus. Let's see. Are you just storming the city as usual? Nothing else special.
Except for the birdie bomb.
Yeah,
what-
Birdie Bomb at a different breach point.
Can Sabina buff the our forces?
Can she buff
Suppose
the
you could rally the troops by taking some more time.
I'm not taking another day.
All right.
Oh,
Roll a d10 plus 5 for your current forces.
You're a
bomb?
D10 plus 5.
What's the morale effect of George mounting the head of the fucking time space wizard on his helmet on a pike?
Let's see. Even if I gave you a morale effect for that,
I hero
wouldn't have
die.
really. Can you hero die?
Hero
I
die.
suppose there's nothing
15.
stopping you hero dying that. That would be 15. You still lose. Let's see. How much would you lose for that? Because I'm thinking.
George
God
set the spear
damn.
hit, so he'd reduce losses anyway.
Man, is the garrison even greater than the one that had the detachment force added to it?
No, it isn't greater. I'm just doing some math real quick. You'd probably lose another 5 units because of how well they rolled. Mind you, with your hero die, you take the city in 1 day rather than 2.
Alright.
So
Does George being at the front not reduce casualties?
Probably not.
it's added to the bonuses you have.
Okay.
That's why you have a plus 5.
As opposed to
You
a
do-
plus 4, I guess.
Yeah, you do have a. You have taken the fort. but it is a success. But you have lost quite a few men doing that. Something like 50 men died.
Well, the orders of the day
Go ahead.
are, after taking the fort, that we're maintaining this position to hold out for reinforcements and resupply, while waiting word from the scouts.
Do I have the chance to catch up with him before he gets, or in the middle of his travels?
That's well, while you're waiting for the supplies, the scouts will have noted that he went past the city of Kanta and towards one of the sub-capitals.
Oh, fantastic! I'm sending a message to Saleya to attack Fontetta.
Hold on. Is he still carrying the bomb though? Because what I was trying to do was get to him and intercept him on his travels, or at least if he is still alone.
He has been riding like the wind for almost 2 days now without stopping.
Right? Have I been able to catch up with him?
You have been able to barely keep behind him because even with your buffs...
How does that horse not exhaust using that much energy?
I don't know. It's some sort of fucking gift from the DM.
Well, anyway.
Well,
you're just salty that you didn't use the items you had to prevent a fully preventable thing from happening.
What the fuck do you mean the items I had?
You kind of disarmed his items that prevented that.
Are we? Is this with using the? Is this with using the major arcana for like?
I think if
you would,
I think
you would catch
him counting using your magic every second you can.
Yeah.
Catch up.
Yeah, you would be fucking exhausted, but so would he probably. Mind you, he's got a city to he's got a city to rest in. You don't really.
So, no, he's resting there, is he? Oh my.
He's rest. Well, he arrives at the minor capital and almost drops dead, probably.
And it's nuked.
Well, yeah. Guess what? Saleya's attacking there.
While he's there, it's getting nuked. That's crazy.
All right. While you're. All right then. Let's see how this plays out. Just need something.
We can't let them steal our fucking super weapons on the second battle.
Yeah, I guess it's a port we're not using.
Well, you know how Saleya is. She likes to create islands out of nothing.
Well, no, that's fine.
Oh, we have real estate for new ports! Fantastic!
Yeah. You see, we can build some bastions out of those mountains, can't we?
That... I just need to do a series of rolls real quick.
Do you want to do those in the open?
UI. You currently have scouts located there, but they can't... You have scouts located there, but you can't really they can't really communicate with you just yet. Because they haven't come back. But I suppose for the sake of...
Hold on.
What's the
how fast
delay
are
from
the
the pigeon
birds
glove?
at communicating?
Yeah.
Right. Ooh.
Damn, Saleya's dead.
You also need to roll for the bomb detonating.
No, Saleya isn't dead, but... Well...
Is the city gone?
The scouts would see that the city is razed to the ground. The walls themselves no longer stand. There is... It's an ex-city. There is no city there.
Does this
fantastic.
occur?
We've eliminated a capital.
Does this occur just before or just after he gets into the city?
Just after, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't occur just after because even Saleya needs travel time. It occurred. I assume you're spying on him.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, as far as you're aware, he didn't leave the city. Not that you, I assume, risk getting too close.
Scouts should be aware.
Well, you don't. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's rather easy to tell if he's leaving the city because they just need to camp out at some point outside of the city and have a watch to say, "Well, did anyone leave the city in the past few days? No, okay."
That would have been a beautiful visual. I've been chasing him for the past several days as he's just about to bring this experimental tech to the capital to be investigated. A dragon shows up and crushes his hopes and dreams.
Unfortunately, time does not work that way.
Unfortunately, it happened after he got there.
Mind you, Saleha has sustained enough damage to where she's out of the fight, at least for now.
Yeah.
Well, it's still one sub-objective. Also,
they got a fucking critical on that.
If that bomb was
did.
there,
Their luck is immaculate today.
Up.
One moment.
All right, so while all that's going on,
it does have measures to make sure that they can't tamper with it.
Well,
so you do need to roll.
While all of this stuff went on, is there anything of worth inside the fort? But while we're waiting,
the grand execution. As George goes all down the line, cutting their fucking heads off.
So, George, you want to exercise extreme brutality, is what I'm hearing.
I want to practice the Roman tradition of decimation.
Looting.
Only killing 10th of the garrison. That's
then
rather generous of you.
Yeah, decimation. And then the survivors can also be executed as a treat.
It's decimation when you're 1/10 of the way through killing everyone.
Okay, but have you considered the fact?
Actual line of them just?
Do you actually do this?
Yes, George does this down the main thoroughfare
Okay,
as well.
Noted.
Unless someone stops him.
Sabina would try to
stop
him.
Did you say you're killing literally everyone in the city?
Garrison, every single member of the garrison, anyone who had a fucking dagger even is being lined up and executed.
I feel like everyone.
Wouldn't be everyone. Women and children are safe. Most of the men would be safe. Most, maybe not all.
Sabina would stop him as a matter of prudence.
Roll for it. Let me just look where my willpower is, and I'll tell you the number to beat. But let's see. Where'd you get that +6 from?
Speech.
You convinced George to not kill all of them. 9/10.
So, are you, I assume you're not murdering the civilians?
None of the civilians.
Okay. That's just what that's really what I needed, because it was relevant to your morale.
Yeah. So now, rather than just cutting the heads off anyone who resisted, George is only cutting the heads off the soldiers, unless he's told to stop again.
And as for our occupation, what can we find inside the township?
Let's see. Give me a roll. Since you're staying a few days, just a regular D10. Just a regular D10.
I am looking forward to the fucking 1 again. Okay, it's not 1.
It's not a 1.
It's still not positive. I've rolled not a single positive roll this session.
You find some battle plans. You find the detailed description of the ambush that they were planning. Direct orders from the council. Would you find anything in the vicinity? There's no real points of interest. Mentioning that this fort's loss is acceptable, but they cannot be allowed to take the sub-capital.
Well, He didn't take the subcapital there. They succeeded in that.
So, I assume I'm correct in thinking the subcapital was just turned into slag
Yes.
and
Slats, yeah.
0 survivors in any form.
Well, not that
At
you.
most, maybe a couple farmers if they were outside the city.
Saleya would not be that merciful.
Okay, so literally every single fucking person. Let's just draw a big fat circle. Anyone in that area?
Man, we just need to hit it with another nuke, and we'll have anime in 100 years.
Yeah. Wait, what's the
Just-
next one then?
The fair anime predates the nukes.
So that was
Just one moment.
Hiroshima. Here's Nagasaki.
I need to do something real quick because I hadn't expected you to use Saleya today.
Well,
Wow, you expected far more restraint than we did.
they took George's toy, right?
To be fair, we wouldn't have used Saleya if people remembered what their characters have.
Well, we also want to use Saleya if I could roll above a 4.
Yes, knights are known for having very low willpower.
Knights aren't also known for having horses faster than fucking Sleipnir.
I know, right? We
It's
can all
just-
agree that speed is bullshit.
That speed is actually perfectly fine.
The speed and the fact that it can run for, I'm presuming, 4 days
A
straight.
full week.
3 days. But
3 days straight. No rest, no order, no food.
yes, he pushed that horse to the limit.
That
The fact that its limit is 3
Speed.
days is
right.
Kind of
Even
impressive.
even on the Mongol steppes, they didn't do that to their horses.
He
not
had
also not while
he-
wearing full armor and having an extra load.
Yeah. That thing would have. Okay, so it had to go across the bridge, then travel across. It would have died here.
If
I'm
it were a
assuming
regular
that's-
horse,
I'm
sure.
assuming
It
that's
died
day
there.
one.
it died. It
There
died
at the
right here.
latest. Yeah, that is
It died
when
right here,
eventually.
but
But it would have
probably
died just
before the
past
dragon
Kanto
got
at the
there.
latest. There is no fucking way that horse was that fast for that long.
Well, the
Horse was supplied with meth.
the unfortunate part of this blunder of
Impressive
ours
horse.
is that we can no longer obtain that that port settlement.
Yeah.
The horse was supplied with Panzerschokoladen, and it used it.
I don't care how
Right.
much fucking meth you give a horse. They don't do that.
I don't care how much meth you give a horse, George Birdie 2020.
All right, so if we want any
Right,
naval
I get it,
assistance,
you-
we have to go much farther.
Yeah, I get it though, Bright. You don't get horses in Croatia, okay? But here, at least in Wales, there's horses all around. I live near several stables.
All right,
Right.
so Bright, do
They
I
cannot
That was-
do that.
that was tame speed for that horse. All right.
Hold on.
Oh,
What?
okay, so it's an actual deity.
By the way, Kuroachia is actually how you
no.
say it in Japanese.
nice?
Huh.
No,
So-
the horse wasn't a deity. I just looked at the stats of an actual horse and figured that seems kind of ludicrous. I'm gonna nerf it a bit, and I did.
I'm sorry. When did I stat an actual horse in this system?
And I've never studied a horse. I've statted tracked and fucking wheeled vehicles, and they don't go that fast out of the fucking gate.
Well,
All right,
They go
so
up to speed, but they
what
don't go
was
that
the
fast
what
off
was
the front.
the
It's
well,
so
soft.
Bright? What was the result of the first day of searching? Was that we saw the plans that we've already seen happen to us?
Yes.
Uh,
Most of the other plans detail the surrounding countryside. It's not really war stuff.
okay,
Hardly really
anything-
relevant for anything you're doing.
Absolutely nothing of note.
I also want to say this keeps happening. George is only getting a bit more brutal.
I
This is why
don't
you're not
really
the Supreme
think there's. I don't really think there's much of note you'd find in here. Let me just double check.
You missed 2 tiles.
No shared scouting reports with the city of Natrona. Okay.
All right, let's see. You find. Actually, give me another roll just to see if you can.
Oh, this is gonna be abysmal. Okay, not abysmal.
All right. You note that the inner cities, from this point beyond the river, have essentially communication beacons set up, such that they don't need to send birds. These 2 forts weren't outfitted entirely, possibly due to the fear of them being overrushed as they were.
So you're saying they can communicate instantly between ports beyond here?
Yes.
Okay, so then that brings up the question: which one do we go for, Kanta or Mamaro?
Well,
let's see. Let's hold on. How long are you staying there?
Just until reinforcements.
Give me another roll, because there is something you might know from this.
Actually,
all right.
That is.
You would know that crossing the river while Mormaro exists is ill-advised.
Yeah, that's actually.
They have. It's not specified what they are, but it is specified that they have war machines capable of essentially extending the city's influence by 50 miles in all radius, as long as it's on the river.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
What does that mean, even?
That's not a proper sentence.
It's the city can threaten anything on a river around it, basically. And that's
okay. So as long as
okay,
as long as we're trying to cross that river, they can say no.
You would know that crossing across where the red line, this part is, would probably be safe because it doesn't specify reaching that far.
But that bridge wouldn't be.
If they were so willing, they could probably collapse it.
So we don't go across the bridge.
Speaking of, you have some. Let's see. You have some human reserves. Join up with your forces. How many did you call for? Another 100 men?
Probably, yeah.
Well, like 200.
Place was lost.
Also, our place that was lost can give us some extra.
If you do get any extra, it will slow your army down. So.
So the question is, do we try to set up another bridge, take a whole 9 days just to make it to Kanta? Or do we take a long way round and attack Mormaro and get fucked that way? Because we have to get close to the capital for that.
What is to stop us from having allies land in a field of ash?
It's molten slag.
Yeah, but it'll have cooled off by now.
No, she has actively made it a volcanic region.
See,
also Invader, there will be crop failures in Kanta in the next few years.
Also, Invader, I did the math, assuming 1 tile is 5 feet.
Roughly is.
Yes, that's the rules here. 24 tiles. Oh, is it what? Okay. Anyways, it's roughly 22 kilometers per hour that the horse was moving at double movement, which is actually pretty slow.
Yeah, it's. I told you I did the math.
According to
also note the 5 feet squares thing is essentially just for combat. There's overland travel. which doesn't include the
which
exhaust.
should-
So a horse shouldn't be traveling at full combat. Shouldn't be traveling at
Full
out
gallop.
overland speed in combat.
If anything, combat could be slower because you are depending
that's
on
what I
whatever
just said.
combat could be slower.
So you shouldn't pour in overland travel inside of combat.
Yes, but what I'm saying is according to this site, racehorses can sprint at speeds of 40 miles per hour.
Okay, but how many days can a racehorse do that though?
Now,
Yeah, I feel like
40
racehorses
miles
don't
per
really
hour
do that.
is 60 kilometers
40
per hour. So that
no, you don't understand.
Yeah,
40 miles.
Racehorse run?
You don't understand. 40 miles per hour would have gotten him to that city in one day. All right.
Yes, but how long does a racehorse run in a day?
and they can.
So I haven't been participating in this argument, but I'm just hearing a racehorse's
it's-
speed and applying that to an actual travel
no.
distance is a bit silly.
No, the thing,
And it's
the
also-
thing
It's
I'm
hardly
doing-
re- it's hardly re- it's it's hardly relevant because I didn't. It's hardly relevant. It's hardly relevant because I didn't use racehorse stats for this. I used warhorse stats for this.
Anyway,
Also, I'm not applying its top speed. I'm saying its top speed was 3 times
so
faster than that.
after
A
getting
third of top speed is pretty comfortable a lot of the time.
So after comfortably getting the totality of everything, having the scouts come back and getting reinforcements, I guess the plan is that we're going to move a good deal of our force here and have the engineers force supported by the army help build the bridge. So we're stuck here for 7 days.
I want my horse bonus speed to be fucking increased, seeing that this is now what we're standardizing. I'm
You do
gonna
not
go
run
call
as
up
fast as a
exactly
horse.
You are Mantor.
You're a man whore?
Anyway, you're taking the week to build the thing here, right?
Maybe we have no other choice.
All right. Give me. Give me the first luck roll for the move, and then we'll see from the bridge.
Yeah, great.
While they're doing that, can I provide any usable scouting in that sort of area? I don't imagine there's much use in watching over the volcanic wasteland.
I assume you would have returned back to the army at this point, but if you want to stay out and scout,
whatever. Yeah. Yeah. That. How long has it been? Like,
it would have been a week at least from when you first set off.
yeah,
Probably like 2 weeks if they're waiting for reinforcements.
Back is good. I'm going to assume that I've used this Major Arcana and redraw it because I want one that's more interesting.
In any case, do you return back to the army? Do you keep scouting out?
Yes, or back.
All right, you return back to the army. You inform them that the sub-capital is Slag. The favor they called in paid off.
Now the problem is, though, we have a problem where we have to take down 2 cities just so we're not fucked by a river passage.
I'm
city.
still so pissed about the fucking bomb.
No, anyway, do I need to roll 7 rolls for the week?
No, just give me one.
Oh, great. So this one is in our entire progress of the week. Okay.
I drew the actual
well,
correct Major Arcana for that
let's see.
circumstance afterwards.
All right, you people. What do you do? You train up some of the recruits. While the rest of your army is busy building the bridge.
George has sent orders to increase the yield and add a failsafe to the bombs, where if it's not a specific way of opening them, they just detonate.
All right.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So
though while I'm waiting, Sabina would have the question asked of to Aethif specifically.
Wait.
Okay.
Before that, you also received news that your allies in Arkaine are making progress. The battlefield has been pushed back to the fort guarding the what's it called? Peninsula. Now,
Oh fuck! That would have been another strategy of using Saleya. Just have her melt the fort, and when the war is over, I mean, first the Arkaine army would get past, but when the war is over, they have unusable plot of land.
I think that would have soured some relations pretty heavily.
Look, the calamity cannot be controlled. She was not told to destroy the land. She was just told to attack the fort.
She also wasn't told that they'd have anti-dragon weaponry prepared for some fucking reason, which is the only way I can explain them critting on her.
I hope that's the only fort that has anti-dragon weaponry. I hope they sunk their entire budget on anti-dragon weaponry for that fort.
Well, what are the chances that they've got dual-purpose anti-dragon weaponry? Yeah? Like, you remember, you always have single-purpose developed first. So,
Okay.
for
So we have a
anti-air,
bridge.
it was single-purpose anti-air. Then it became dual-purpose anti-air. And then we switched right back to single-purpose anti-air again.
So the
But we still
question,
use it as
all right.
dual-purpose.
So now that we have a bridge, likely after a full week of waiting, what were the effects of that 7, by the way?
Let's see.
Trained up recruits.
You trained up recruits, and you would have realized that the words from Arkaine isn't exactly as good as they may be intended to be. Because, by your reckoning, you shouldn't have strained them enough to need to pull back from that front yet. So they're fucking planning something.
All right. So who wants to use the doomsday device in the capital? All hands.
Okay.
I'm getting that.
Why not?
If they steal another bomb or pull another bullshit like that, abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay, so I guess our next day is that we get to the bridge.
As you cross that bridge, actually, you know what? Give me a roll.
We'll cover that when we get there.
You'll burn it when you get there. Yes.
No, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, what you notice is that this bridge collapses.
Good
You don't exactly notice. Yeah, you don't exactly know how, and you're fairly certain someone's spying on you, but you didn't catch anyone give any orders. You didn't see anyone relay any information.
Osvin, remove their balls.
Well, that's a job for Aether, isn't it?
Okay, so the question I was going to ask of Aether before I was interrupted by other things was what would be the what issues would there be in transporting either the flood in a snow globe or the blizzard in a snow globe past the castle walls to detonate inside of Mormarrow?
You're asking this of Aethif?
I asked this of Aethif and his skills as a professional.
Aethif, give me a roll trickery just to see what your professional mind angled for mischief that I'm not sure how Sabina knows about, but we'll just gloss over that for now.
she doesn't know that he's part of any organization, but he has seen him just disappear in combat and just kill someone.
Yeah, the fact that he's skilled isn't really a secret.
True, I suppose. True. All right, Aethith, you would know that if you had, say, maps of the place, or anyone on the inside, or any sort of information about the place you're raiding, it would be a cinch for you. But going in blind is especially during a war, is very possibly going to result in you getting, executed. Not that it would stop you, mind, but you'd prefer to find some either more information about the place or find a contact on the inside or anything of the sort, really.
This is conveyed.
I don't suppose you have family here, do you?
No.
Shame.
George does.
Anyways, you're approaching Kanta.
Should we approach Kanta, or we should just avoid Kanta and go straight for the river?
No,
city
we
of
should.
Pain?
We should take
because as long as this city's alive, we can't really make any real passages around this area.
True, but you would know that
Kanta doesn't do anything to us right now.
You would know that trying to bypass a fort is a great way to get hit in the ass, especially with your scouts are back, so it would at least be seen in time. But
okay, well,
there's a reason you don't bypass forts, and provided Mormaro hasn't sent any troops yet, you might still have time to blitz the fort.
All right, we're taking on Kanta then.
I remember as a little kid always wondering why they bothered attacking Castle.
Yeah,
that is
quite frankly, that is the
sally forth and strike an army in the ass.
That is the Mongol strategy of burning the villages and the places that actually produce food to the ground, while the lords sat in their fucking castles.
We can just going up to the castle and locking the door from the outside before moving on.
First, give me a roll just for the luck of the day. Okay, that's good.
Praise be.
What? God, that is awful. Do not put that there. I just need to see something for myself real quick. All right. Some unexpected reinforcements arrive. Another group of a mercenary company, as it were.
Whose banners they fly under?
Willens. But specifically, it is. It's not a banner you've seen before. It's apparently a newfound group. They seem to be friendly with the commander you've uncovered in your own midst during the start of the campaign.
Oh,
and they offer their services. Provided they're allowed to raid the city.
Sorry, who's they?
There's no rape, sure.
How many forces are? How many men are there?
100 men strong.
Can they keep up with us?
They would be traveling independently so as to not slow your army down.
Alright, I say why not.
Besides, they're only really interested in Kanta. You're not exactly sure what's in there, but it's something. Something they want, apparently.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Rubber stamped mercenaries to get this to go along faster. We're not going to get better luck.
Okay, you arrive at Kanta, and your scouting reveals that The entire city seems to have an additional set of trenches dug around it. George, you would assume this is to prevent your bombs from working, but you've built them better than that. They wouldn't care about surfacing for a bit, not until they've hit their target. And this seems more like testing of a theory rather than actual knowledge about your weapon.
Well, with information sent back to the workshop to further increase the blast yield of the bombs, whatever defenses they do come up with probably won't be enough to stop them.
Well, if you think they're testing theory with the trenches that it'll make them detonate early, make them think they'll detonate early, and then use the fact that that's not actually true to your advantage where it matters more.
Yep.
That's a good idea. All right, yeah, George will set the fuse to be early, warning.
What? Spend a bomb, but you still have to break the walls.
Yeah, we can do that magically, right?
Not. You don't have. There's a reason your bombs are as useful as they are, and they wanted them as much as they did.
Well,
it's
with
because
these reinforcements, we can send a hunt. We can. I would imagine we'd be able to do a more conventional siege this time. Because that's a very good idea to trick them into thinking the bombs.
Spend extra bombs. Have one detonate early, and then one go through where it detonated to, and then set one off after that's detonated in like the crater or something to go all the way forwards. Make it look like it does something, but you can still get through it.
No, because I'd only.
Or fight to get just past the trenches, and then set off the bomb.
So Bright, question. There's a these cities have a beacon, right? Is it visible?
Give me a perception check, I guess.
I will have my best scout look for this now that I have the information. Aethif, is there a visible building or something that you can see?
Good question, is there?
Perception check.
Yes, perception check. Roll it. You wouldn't really know what a beacon looks like, but you can definitely tell that one of the towers is taller and thinner than the others. And it doesn't really seem to serve a purpose beyond being very visible. So you're guessing it's that.
Well, if he's asking me about a beacon, and I didn't know, then I would ask him what that is, and then I would look.
Well, the thing is, he wouldn't know either. He wouldn't know what it looks like either. It's
She just brought the documents from that castle. So
yeah. Now you can point out what looks like a beaconish tower to you.
Yeah, she just confer with her scouts for a bit based upon what.
Yeah, it can hardly be anything else, really.
Then I'll go with that.
She's going to recommend that in the sacking of the city to the mercenaries that we must be able to use that beacon.
She said sacking.
Very funny, very amusing, very clever, very humorous.
So you want beacon?
Very mindful.
So what are you doing with the?
All right. So, well, do you want to fake that this is effective against your birdies? Because it's likely only. With spies in our midst, it's likely going to only work for one attack anyway. If that happens.
Well, okay, right.
We don't.
We won't inform our troops. Sadly, this is a morale hit we'll have to take until we can get rid of the spy. But if we make it seem like the defense, it's a good pointing out by Egg, though. If we make it seem like the defense works, they'll be liable to not improve it much further. So then, when it
The
really
problem
matters,
is
we can show that it doesn't work at all.
The problem is this slows our approach to what is likely them doing it anyway because they have spies around us. Whether or not we reveal it's the strategy.
Well, if we show that like their defenses don't work, because I know these defenses won't work. This was a counter. The bombers were designed to go through trenches without issue. Right.
It is worth noting that you're unaware of the fate of that bomb. Maybe if you'd left your hand with it, you would be aware of it, but you chose to keep the hand instead.
The dragon ate it, that's why they
I wonder why I chose to keep the hand.
To be fair, you're almost as effective without it.
Almost. And if I had lost that fully, I would have screamed.
And
if I never saw the bomb leave the city when we were watching it, and the city is now volcanic slag.
Didn't see a single sail or carriage leave that city.
You didn't see the bomb leave the city, but you are aware that they have communication. You are aware they have communication beacons.
Communication.
It's not impossible that they already know the makeup of the bomb.
Right, so
I did not see them roll for the anti-tampering devices.
Yeah.
There weren't any anti-tampering devices the first time.
What do you... No.
You specifically said you sent back word to your men to include anti-tampering devices.
No, that's what I said.
No.
And I don't know what the makeup of the bomb is. I just said anti-tampering devices.
Right. It would have been fair if we were using the prototypes, right? To say, oh no, that there is no anti-tampering, because that's completely fair. Those were prototypes. To
be fair, this is the first time any of them were actually threatened by an enemy troop.
I think George has so far displayed that he is very paranoid about everything. Rightfully so in this case, but
yeah, George isn't stupid. He's fought wars, you know.
You're paranoid about being done, says the spy.
Neither are the people you're fighting. They've also fought wars. Right. This isn't the first war they've been in.
This is the first time they've encountered this weapon. Though
we've also made anti-tampering devices for this exact weapon that, or pro-tampering for this exact weapon.
So, yes. I've never seen a nuclear bomb before, but I know exactly how to disarm it safely.
They've already shown they can put things in stasis, and put themselves not in stasis.
I still want to know they have that fucking magic. Considering I can barely mind control someone without it being fully countered.
Yeah, right. Just tell me right now, right, as a courtesy. Is this just you wanting a counter to...
This is what a nation would do when faced with a super weapon. Okay. Study it and find a counter to it.
Alright.
At any rate.
I'm sorry, did you think the enemies weren't going to fight back? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for an enemy army in the field.
So I'm going to be honest, didn't expect any of this.
At any rate, we haven't seen an army in the field in any way. Sabina is just commanding not to fucking use too much foreplay.
So just use bombs as normal, then completely disregard their defense.
Use bomb as normal to get past this obstacle. We'll deal with the issue inside of the city.
Alternately, use bomb, have it blow up in trench. Use second bomb, have it blow up on walls.
What if where to?
I will just tell you. The only thing you're accomplishing with that egg is wasting a bomb.
Yeah.
Because they don't know the amount of bombs you have. You've kept that out very well kept secret.
They'll see that the trench caused the detonation to occur, transport this back, and believe that it is an effective defense, at least against one bomb.
by wasting.
But as long as they suspect, as long as they suspect you have another bomb, it's not really much of an issue for like.
I'd say our best strategy is at the next fort that we can really just fucking jack off at. We just don't use any bombs, and that way they're like, we wasted a whole bunch of time building defenses for this. Let's stop doing that.
So Momaro then.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that one's.
Because I think we could afford to slow a bit at Momaro because it's so close to the capital.
I'm just gonna do a willpower check for Sabina real quick about that suggestion.
Sabina really wants to take a city very quickly.
She needs 6 cities. Well, at any rate, yeah, she'll be like, okay, we're gonna slow down at Mormaro. Actually,
well,
what'd you say, Mormaro?
What are you doing?
Say, let's. I think she would want to get one port. But Mormaro's support. Anyway, we're using a bomb. We're using a. Yeah, we're using a bomb normally on Kanta.
Is that the final answer?
Yep.
All right.
And,
give me
a. Just going out with an extended guard and scouts.
Yeah.
To keep eyes.
I imagine you will. You're not the type of person to get ambushed twice.
Nope.
That being said, roll the bomb.
It's dangerous.
Motherfucker.
And that is George's roll.
Okay.
George is the one setting up the bomb. Roll for the bomb activation.
With them. So
yeah, just make an attack roll.
Okay. At my standard attack?
Probably at -1. Not -1 total,
Okay,
-1 your standard attack.
Okay, so +2. Well, I guess
Yeah.
the drill bits are bladed, so...
Look, all I'm saying is it's not the usual weapon you use. It's not what you train to use. That's swords.
I will say, the drill...
Anyway, roll it.
Sharp, so bladed weapon.
I'll be disconnected for a couple minutes.
That doesn't count. Anyways, it's not an especially brilliant usage of the bomb, but it does the job.
Yeah.
It skips over the trench as you expect it to. Embeds itself in the enemy.
Does the lowered amount of earth cause the walls to... No, my question is, does the lowered amount of earth on the outside portion of the wall cause more of the debris to exit the city, allowing it to...
It's not...
To get in?
No, it's right? Thing is, it's not a trench around the city walls themselves. They know the rough range of the bomb, and they've set up trenches such that if you tried to cross them, they could shoot you with arrows, but not so much that they'd risk collapsing their own walls. They're a distance away.
Right. Well, then answer me this: as the bomb goes through the trench, because it wouldn't skip over, it would either go completely under, or it would break through one wall of the trench and keep drilling to the other side.
It breaks through one wall, keeps drilling.
A portion of it.
Yeah.
Please, can you just roll to see if it hits a dude stood in the trench?
The trenches aren't manned. That's how you know they're specifically for your bombs.
That would have been so funny.
Possibly, but they're not stupid enough to put people in the anti-bomb trenches.
Look,
I imagine it would.
I've seen a professional military force fighting against fighting against an infantry-heavy army, put their catapults outside the castle walls after sending the light cavalry first.
That is true. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not counting historical outliers here. Anyways, give me a D10 plus 6 because you have the group of mercenaries with you, and these people have a +2.
Okay.
You break into the city, taking. Let's split the losses between you and the mercenaries. So you take some 30 people.
They lose some
They lose 90% of the people holding that fort.
So we have another day of attacking.
But you do have another day of fighting.
Can
They
George,
haven't quite
lead
given it
a
up
night
yet.
raid?
All right. Do you have stealth? Or are you doing an open night raid?
Well, I was thinking an open night raid, like a shock assault at night. But if an actual night raid, maybe an actual night raid would prove effective.
There's not a lot of people left manning the fort.
Well, then an open night shock assault would probably be more effective than something that creates a lot of noise when they don't expect it to get them out of their senses.
Sure. Give me a.
Who's coming with?
Are you personalizing this, or are you letting someone?
The idea would be George would be the spear tip, just because of how bright.
Do you have any?
Tanky
Do you have it? Yeah, but do you have any skills relevant to leading a force of men?
Sabina would be coming with.
There you go.
Because if
Sabina
that's yeah.
So Sabina will be giving orders out while George rallies the men and leads the charge itself.
Sabina and Decoy. Sabina will be giving orders. Yes.
All right.
Chun wouldn't bother.
Is Aethif helping out with this?
Sabina,
he
Decoy,
isn't here.
Sabina, and other Decoy Sabina.
All right, whoever's going along, which seems to be Chun, George, and Sabina, whoever has the highest trickery, just to see if they even see you before.
Do I have trickery?
Wait, are we doing a night
No,
raid
I
on the
don't.
city we just raided?
I
No,
do
this
not
isn't-
have
this
any.
is a
I do.
night assault.
Oh, okay.
I
Assault
have.
on the city?
I have 0 in trickery.
We don't
Yeah,
have
Stealth
same.
any
also works. Stealth would probably work
Stealth.
better, honestly. Yeah.
I don't have any stuff.
Yeah, no.
I just
Nah.
don't even have a negative in stealth. I just don't have.
All right, then
bonuses to
I
it.
have a +2 to stealth.
Are you gonna join them on the night raid?
Comes along.
Sure, yes.
Is May feeling
I mean,
hungry?
it's night. Yeah.
Raiding them at night sounds like the
Well,
best
All right,
raid.
roll a stealth.
Hello.
Again, correct.
Hello,
Okay,
Korak.
correct. Do you want to lead the night raid?
The Elden Ring night raid.
I'm assuming Aethif has more stealth.
Yeah, give me a stealth roll to see how well you can hide your troops. And considering the amount of noisy people that are coming along, they get a bonus to actually seeing you.
Oh, he's not in the game yet, so.
Well, someone roll for him. I'm not sure what is.
+5.
I think it's
I'll
+5.
All rolls +5.
Okay.
Though, Jesus, that's a good bonus of them. Yeah.
All right,
They barely notice.
see. They do notice, which means it is an opposed roll, so they're +1 versus your +6. How many people are you bringing for this, actually? Because it's not the entire army, I imagine.
Volunteers.
No, not the. Yeah, volunteers.
Give me a +3 then.
What the fuck?
Damn.
Made it work.
I don't.
They-
choose the fucking roll.
They are able to repel your night raid.
Well, there's our there's the morale loss there.
Fortunately,
Morale
you don't. Fortunately, you don't lose a lot of men because they don't have a lot of men to attack you with, but they do keep you out of the fort, at least for now.
Yeah. Well, we don't lose a lot of men also because George, I imagine, would use would use the taunt amulet to direct their attention to him.
Well, you can only really taunt so many people, and in the midst of a melee, it's yeah.
But that's pretty simple. Like, if we're at the wall, let's just climb up a bit of rubble, use it.
I have been more lenient about the number of men you ought to lose during these fights because you have so many defensive advantages.
Are the number of men we would have lost less than the number of men that I could have raised back to life?
Are you raising vampires in this army? Because there is a lot of marching during the day.
Well, we know how to
would they prefer that to being dead?
They probably wouldn't prefer it to being dead, but it is a drain on army resources to do that, even if it is more men, technically.
What if we store them in the Pearl?
Yeah.
That would work, but that would work. But I will remind you that there is a spy in your
There's apparently starving animals in my house, so I'll be back in a couple minutes.
If they're not staying in the fight and with us, and if they're not particularly skilled enough, then it's not a matter. It's not.
So we don't take the fort today. So we don't take the fort today, but we control most of the place. All right. Next thing.
They've lost most of their forces, but they have kept you out of the inner keep. Essentially, you've got the outer keep. Yeah.
Right. So it's the next thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Give me a luck roll just to see if something happens.
Is there like a lord in this place?
That's what the luck roll is for. Okay, that's a decent amount of luck. In all the fighting, you've managed to capture one of the relatives of the Lord.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, neat.
So what you do with that is
hostage. All right.
Come the morning time, upon knowing this information, Sabina Decoy presents the relative of the Lord on the side of the inner keep, and says, well, with alongside George, the fucking executioner, as I'm certain he's being called.
Probably.
How often have you shown your adamantine form?
Only when indoors or on night raids.
Right, so you wouldn't have really built any legend around the whole red skeleton thing.
Hang on, I imagine after the night assault last night, I imagine it's starting to build.
Wait. We have the red skull on our team.
Yeah, see, Carl, my niggas.
You fascists will never catch us alive.
This is life.
Oh, right, yeah, shit.
It's been
anyways
2 hours.
Hang on.
No, it's not been 2 hours. It's 1:53.
I don't have a legend yet, but there's rumors.
As far as any rumors are concerned, the best you're getting, George, is that there is a birdie among the command staff.
That's fair enough. It will only build as soon as I'm not being
stared
by the daemon in the sky.
If anything, the one person who's actually making a name for themselves in all of this is Sabina, considering she's the de facto leader.
So, Sabina presents the relative of the Lord of Kanta, saying,
We'll threaten to turn him into a vampire if
No, we're not threatening specific things. Death is as specific as we threaten here.
Threaten a fate worse than death. As far as they're concerned, being raised into undeath is worse, I'm pretty sure.
They would.
Your compact has committed aggression against the people of Willand. Your civilians are to be spared, and are your leaders if they submit to our vassalage. We have one of your own right here. And right now I'm preventing my men from taking blood they believe are owed. Open the gates and surrender to us, and I can prevent him from meeting grisly fate.
All right. Give me a speed check. That's something you're good at least.
Let's watch the one.
I guess opposed by willpower then.
Um,
Jesus.
You see a man. You see a man come to the battlements of the Inner Keep after listening to this, and he looks like the Lord. He looks down at you and says, "And what of my men? Are you to kill these soldiers who have faced the end with me so valiantly? I cannot hand the keep in good conscience while their heads are on the block."
These brave men that stand in defense with you can be sent elsewhere, along with yourselves.
And what guarantees do I have that you will not simply massacre us when we step out the gate?
You have the guarantees on my name. Sabina Callisto, the 16th Princess of Willand.
And of my own, George Bertie, first.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. He pulls back to discuss something with some counselors or advisors. They seem rather lower in rank than you'd expect for royal advisors. And he comes back saying, "My men and I shall clear this place in a day. I expect no army to be standing at the gates when we leave, as is only fair. I will honor this pact if you do so."
Day. George will lean into the I guess, communicatory illusory, not illusion, and will just say to it in a not quite audible voice, to them anyway. The day's too long. We can't wait around.
We will allow you to take supplies on the road with you, but any weaponry will mark you to our reinforcements that you are enemy combatants. I highly recommend you keep travel bags with you and pack light. And your day you shall have.
He bows and yells out to his men to begin packing, to drop their, but to leave their weapons behind.
Yeah, they're gonna burn anything useful, but hey.
Day's too long. They don't need a full day to prepare.
You might think this, however, after their time has escaped, after the time has passed, you see them carrying a lot of wounded with them. It's likely that they needed the time to actually make sure they can transport everyone.
They could have foisted that responsibility onto us, actually, as the victors.
They don't trust you for a second that you wouldn't just execute
their moral failing.
But a keep falls by negotiation and not by blade for once.
If any of them do carry a weapon out, George will rush them down.
No,
they have kept their word, surprisingly.
All right. On inspection of the inner keep, how barren is it?
Well, give me a roll.
Perception.
These are a bit too big. Yeah. Yeah, but just.
Can I have my expert scout perceive? If anything.
Do you trust Aethith to? Do you trust Aethith to scout everything?
Yes.
He is our best scout.
Yes, but do you trust him to not keep things of importance to himself?
Of all things, George actually respects Aethith and his abilities to stay unseen.
She would trust Car's assessment that Aethith has not actually stolen anything from him.
That he knows of.
Car's blind.
Well, a good thief, but still, he at least very trusted to have
anyway,
Sabina in their presence without saying, "Oh yeah, these are just a bunch of mass murdering."
Anyway, I have to write something up and definitely not to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll put us on the AFK screen so anyone else can do the same.
Scout, I'm afraid.
But we were gonna try to find out who the spies are.
Too bad.
Well, considering next
womp.
session is literally tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's a whole tomorrow away, correct?
Not even a whole tomorrow. It's like a fraction of a tomorrow away. Oh, okay. Also, now they need me on the phone. So anyway, just to be clear, it's
Yeah,
not like
have a good one.
see, I'm just helping out. Anyway, see you.
All right,
See you.
take care. Well, we're losing one of our codiest of racks, so we can't continue today.
I've also got.
Well,
Look,
Yeah.
he lost.
I wasn't
Gone.
expecting a game to be scheduled for stupid o'clock. So
That's fair. And also, I wasn't expecting everyone to actually be able to make it today, so...
Look, we ran 3 games. Well, we're going to be running 3 games this fucking week. This is no 4 games. No, we did 20-30 on Sunday. We did 20-30 on Tuesday. We did this today, and tomorrow we're doing more Data Damned. I am a happy burden.
Yeah,
Why did you start with Sunday?
Yeah, you shouldn't have. But
Well, I'm
considering
tracking
streams-
over the course of a week. So if we're tracking starting from Sunday and ending on Saturday, that's 4 games in a week.
Besides, we're running 20-30 tomorrow anyways, so... Or the day after anyways,
Sunday.
so... Yeah.
Do you want to-
Sorry,
I hate time.
sorry, I ran Day of the Damned. I expect it to be Saturday.
Alright, well, take care, YouTube. We do apologize that the quality is as par for Day of the Damned as you expected it to be.
Man, I'm fucking exhausted.
Which is exceptional, by the way. Because we've had 6 people over the course of the stream watching.
I still call that
What?
horse bull. Also, what?
Really?
Oh, yeah, right. Remember, this is YouTube. This is all endorsed by Aiden Paladin.
I mean, that is technically officially true.
And as we've officially been told by his manager, Korak, within the first 10 minutes,